The Taiwan Strait has become a focal point of global anxiety as tensions between China and Taiwan continue to escalate. Recent events have underscored the fragility of peace in the region. Chinese military exercises near Taiwan, including live-fire drills and the deployment of warships and aircraft, have heightened concerns about a potential invasion. These actions come in response to perceived provocations from Taiwan, such as the seizure of a Chinese crewed cargo ship suspected of damaging an undersea telecom cable. While China claims these exercises are routine, their scale and intensity send a clear message of its resolve to assert control over Taiwan. The incident involving the undersea cable is particularly concerning as it highlights China's ability to disrupt critical infrastructure and communications. This incident is a stark reminder of the vulnerability of Taiwan's undersea cables, which carry vital internet and communication traffic. Such actions underscore the potential for China to employ a hybrid warfare strategy, combining military pressure with economic coercion and cyber attacks. This growing assertiveness from Beijing raises serious questions about its intentions towards Taiwan and the potential for miscalculation that could spark a wider conflict. The international community is watching closely, aware that any conflict in the Taiwan Strait would have profound global repercussions. While China's exact plans for a potential invasion of Taiwan remain shrouded in secrecy, military analysts have pieced together a likely scenario based on China's military capabilities and its strategic objectives. A Chinese invasion of Taiwan would likely involve a multi-pronged approach designed to overwhelm Taiwan's defenses and secure a swift victory. A key element of China's strategy would be the use of its rapidly expanding navy to enforce a naval blockade around Taiwan. This blockade would serve to cut off Taiwan from essential supplies and military reinforcements. Simultaneously, China would unleash a barrage of ballistic and cruise missiles targeting Taiwan's key military installations, airfields and command centers, crippling its ability to mount an effective defense. Cyber attacks would play a crucial role in sowing chaos and confusion, disrupting communication networks and crippling critical infrastructure. The final phase of the invasion would likely involve amphibious landings on Taiwan's shores. This would be a complex and risky operation, requiring China to transport and land a significant number of troops in the face of potential resistance from Taiwanese forces. The success of such an operation would depend heavily on China's ability to establish air and naval superiority in the Taiwan Strait, a task that would be far from easy. Faced with the growing threat from China, Taiwan is reassessing its defense strategy. Traditionally, Taiwan has focused on building up a conventional military force equipped with tanks, fighter jets, and warships. However, this approach is increasingly seen as inadequate in the face of China's overwhelming military superiority. Instead, Taiwan is shifting towards an asymmetric denial defense strategy. This new approach emphasizes the use of mobile, relatively inexpensive weapon systems that can inflict maximum damage on invading Chinese forces. Taiwan is investing heavily in anti-ship missiles, sea mines and air defense systems designed to make any Chinese invasion as costly and difficult as possible. The goal is not necessarily to defeat the Chinese military outright, but rather to raise the costs of an invasion to a level that would be politically unacceptable for Beijing. This shift in strategy reflects a recognition that Taiwan cannot hope to match China's military might conventionally. Instead, it seeks to exploit China's vulnerabilities, such as the complexity of an amphibious invasion and the potential for heavy casualties, to deter aggression and preserve its autonomy. The United States plays a pivotal role in the Taiwan Strait's delicate balance of power. For decades, the U.S. has maintained a policy of strategic ambiguity towards Taiwan. This policy avoids explicitly stating whether the U.S. would intervene militarily if China attacked Taiwan. The goal of strategic ambiguity is twofold: to deter China from using force against Taiwan, while simultaneously avoiding a commitment that could escalate tensions and drag the U.S. into a conflict. However, this policy is coming under increasing scrutiny as China grows more assertive and the possibility of a conflict in the Taiwan Strait becomes more real. Some argue that strategic ambiguity is no longer an effective deterrent and that the U.S. needs to adopt a more explicit security guarantee to Taiwan. Others argue that abandoning strategic ambiguity would be counterproductive, increasing the risk of a miscalculation by Beijing and making a conflict more likely. The U.S. is also grappling with the challenge of balancing its commitment to Taiwan with its broader relationship with China. The U.S. and China are deeply interconnected economically, and a conflict over Taiwan would have devastating consequences for both countries and the global economy. The US must navigate this complex web of interest carefully, seeking to deter Chinese aggression while avoiding actions that